None of us have a place to go, now to live.
And police believe the fire that ripped through this apartment building was not an accident. He was not even on duty and found himself facing a gun. What led to this Halloween party shooting that has a Texas police chief in critical condition? Swept away, the deadly weekend for a Texas family. Taking shelter. With the possibility of more rain and temperatures dropping, how East Texas shelters are working to keep people warm and dry.
And it was a washout this weekend as more rain continues to fall across East Texas. But I'll let you know when we'll see a return to sunshine. Also, some cooler weather to move in as well. East Texas News Weekend starts right now.
Evening and thank you for joining us. November is getting off to a rainy start, but some sunshine is in the works. Let's go over right now to our meteorologist Daniel Graves in the Weather Center. Daniel?
That's right, Anissa. We'll start to see that sunshine return as we head through the beginning parts of the week. But for now, a lot of rainfall still moving through portions of East Texas tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at downtown Tyler. And what I want you to notice is the wet roadways. That's going to continue through the overnight hours when you wake up to head to work or to school. So you might need a few extra minutes on your morning commute. As we take a look at Storm Tracker Live Doppler radar, there you can see a lot of rainfall moving across East Texas tonight. So over the next several hours, we'll continue to see that rain fall, but it'll start to diminish early as we head into Monday morning. But what I want to point out, notice the rainfall coming to an end behind in the northwestern counties near the Sulphur Springs area. There's cloudy skies there, but also what I want to point out is the visibility down to 2 miles in Greenville, 4 miles in the Sulphur Springs area. Yes, some patchy fog is going to start to develop overnight across East Texas, so you definitely want to make a few minutes of extra time for your commute tomorrow. So overnight tonight, the rainfall will continue with that patchy fog developing. We'll see a mostly start for your Monday with that sunshine returning, but looking ahead in the week, tracking more rain, but also some cooler temperatures by next weekend. I'll break down that forecast for you coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Daniel. One person has been arrested after an early morning fire at a Lindale apartment complex. Authorities were called to the Scenic Hills apartment complex on 317 South Industrial shortly after 1 a.m. 26-year-old Tiffany Collins was taken into custody on an arson charge and is in the Smith County Jail. East Texas News Weekend's Paul Rivera went to that apartment complex and spoke with residents about the fire.
At the Scenic Hills apartment complex, authorities taking a look around, allowing those who lived here to gather the few belongings they have left. The fire ripped through half of the building's second floor, where not much remains. The moment described by residents as frantic.
Saw the lady coming down the sidewalk crawling. She had jumped out of the window. I got right on the phone with 911, let them know what was going on and everything, and I helped everybody else get out by yelling their names and fire.
Some losing everything, no longer able to live in their apartments. They're left wondering, what next?
None of us have a place to go, now to live.
Maureen Haynes, whose daughter lives here, says there's going to be a tough road ahead.
We're going to try to rebuild. That's all we can do. We got to find a place that she can afford to live and to replace her stuff to where she's got something to live with.
Residents of other buildings in the complex, so close to the fire, are glad it didn't spread.
It's just nerve-wracking to be in a position like this. Was hoping that we was all safe, and we was.
That safety, the positive that can be taken out of this ordeal.
And all I can do is thank the Lord Jesus that he was with them. That's all I can do.
In Lindale, Paul Rivera, East Texas News Weekend.
The fire marshal's office is still trying to determine exactly how the fire started. One person was injured and was treated for broken bones. A state trooper traffic stop lands an East Texas man in jail on drug charges. DPS troopers stopped 18-year-old Cole Hilton of Gladewater early this morning. Hilton was found to be in possession of marijuana and other drugs. He was charged with marijuana possession and possession of a controlled substance. He remains in the Gregg County Jail. A follow-up tonight. Tyler police are asking for your help finding a shooting suspect. Around 8 o'clock last night, police were called to an apartment complex on Paluxy Drive. The victim, Jeremy Williams, says he was sitting in a car when two men approached him, opened the door, and shot him in the hand. Williams was able to get away from the men and was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. A police chief is in critical condition after being shot near Waco. Police in Temple say Marlin Police Chief Daryl Allen was working off duty as security at a bar last night when he was shot early this morning during an altercation with a customer. The accused shooter, 24-year-old Derek Wayne Gamble, is charged with assault on a peace officer. The National Weather Service reports at least one possible tornado touchdown in Louisiana. Powerful winds tore panels off of this man's home in Hammond, Louisiana, near Baton Rouge. Fences were also flattened to the ground. No serious injuries were reported. The death toll from the weekend rains in South Texas has now reached 6. Authorities in Travis County say 67-year-old Inez Garza and her husband were swept away from their home. Garza's husband was rescued, but her body was found about 2 miles from their property. Family members say the sheriff gave them the bad news.
We're hoping and praying and holding out hope that the call would be a different call, but it was what it was.
We know she's up there and, in a better place, and she's smiling down on us, and she's our little angel now. And so I'm very happy that she's finally found a happy place.
Houston also took a heavy blow from the weather. Authorities conducted more than 130 water rescues in the area. 2 people died in Houston, but authorities have not determined if those deaths are weather-related. The chilly and relentless rain made for a miserable day, and it has some East Texas homeless shelters straining to take care of more people. East Texas News Weekend's Bob Hallmark has more on how the rain has the homeless and travelers looking for cover.
Aside from the chilling rain causing miserable driving conditions, it has the homeless and those in need coming to places like the Highway 80 rescue mission in large numbers.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
We are seeing more women and children come in due to the weather, cooler weather, and the rain, yes.
They come in, they're soaking wet, they need a change of clothes, they may need to get a shower or a bite to eat.
The men's and women's shelters are quickly filling up and straining shelter resources.
As far as resources, it does put more of a demand on the food that we provide. Not only food, but also blankets. So food donations will be in need.
Well, it's really cold, wet, miserable. It's hard to get work because no one's wanting to come and work while it's raining.
Because of the weather conditions, the shelters are not turning anyone away, even those who may be prohibited from staying there.
They may have fell under some type of restriction that didn't allow them to come back. We'll put them under inclement weather and let them stay.
Workers say the simple access to a shower, a hot meal, and a warm blanket could give some the hope they need.
They're needing a warm place to stay. They're wanting to get out of the weather and find a place that they can come to get back on their feet.
We're straining right now. We'll try our best to help them.
Bob Hallmark, East Texas News Weekend.
Both the men's and women's shelter at Highway 80 Rescue Mission says that they will not turn anyone away during inclement weather, even if they are over capacity. He went from the screen to the Senate. Now this very familiar face is being remembered. The next debate is just 9 days away, but Republican presidential hopefuls want some changes to the rules. A closer look coming up on East Texas News Weekend.
And if you're tired of the rainfall, we'll be getting a break for the first half of the week. But if you like the rain, hey, that's back in the forecast as well. So some weather for everyone next week. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in just a bit. But first, our Grant and Flannery neighborhood WeatherNet site out at White House. 2 inches of rainfall since midnight, and more continues to fall tonight. But when you'll get a break right after this.
Miss the latest newscast? Catch KLTV anytime, anywhere on your computer, smartphone, or tablet device with the KLTV live stream. Check out replays of the most recent newscasts. Watch all of the breaking news stories as they're happening live, or stay informed with severe weather updates. Click Watch Now on your computer or select Watch Newscasts with the KLTV app to get all of your East Texas news fast. Watch the KLTV live stream. Storm Tracker 7 Weather is sponsored by At Home Healthcare, bringing healthcare home for over 25 years.
Well, the second weekend in a row that we've pretty much seen a washout across the area. Now, that's probably helped maybe get some chores done in the house, but not for any of your outdoor plans. Maybe next weekend we'll get a little bit lucky with the sunshine in the forecast. We'll talk more about that in just a bit, but the rainfall continues to move across East Texas this evening. Many areas seeing under an inch of rainfall, so not as heavy as we saw this time yesterday, but still over an inch in Longview, also in Henderson and Nacogdoches, and down near Jasper, where we were dealing with some flooding issues yesterday. No flash flood watches, though, have been posted across East Texas. Dorothy Penny in Southwest County getting 9/10 of an inch of rainfall. Most of our weather watchers getting a lot of rain over the past several days. We only had 4/10 in Athens today, but 1.5 inches in Good Springs, 1/2 inch in Central Heights, and over 1.5 inches in the Broadus area. Now, as we take a look at Storm Tracker live Doppler radar, notice the rainfall slowly going to start to come to an end. Maybe a little bit of a mist drizzle will continue in those areas, but some heavier rainfall as you head towards St. Augustine County and Sabine County down towards Jasper and Newton counties. That rainfall will start to slowly diminish as we head closer towards Monday morning. So not expecting a wet commute for you, but you could run into some patchy fog and some wet roadways across the area. But behind the front, an area of high pressure will start to build in. That's what's going to help to kick out this area of low pressure. So our conditions will start to improve as we head into the beginning parts of the week. This upper level low is what's been bringing in that moisture into East Texas. As that moves out, this area of high pressure will move in. But notice by Monday morning, some fog will be across East Texas. That will burn off by the afternoon. A return to some partly cloudy skies for your afternoon. That's good for some sunshine on your Monday, getting back to school and work. And that's going to be the pattern as we head through the first half of the week. This area of high pressure going to kind of linger over the area. So notice mostly sunny skies will return into the forecast. But then what we're tracking as we head closer towards the end of the week is once again another front that's going to move into East Texas. By Thursday evening, some heavy rain will be moving across the area. And that's unfortunately going to linger as we head into Friday and possibly even at least the first half of your Saturday as this area of low pressure kind of hangs behind the front. So we can continue to see that heavy rainfall through Saturday, but I am expecting skies to start to clear for your Sunday. Temperatures right now, though, still pretty mild in the low to the middle 60s. Only going to drop a few more degrees as we continue to see some cooler weather move in behind that front. You'll notice that on your 7-day forecast into the upper 50s for your Tuesday and Wednesday. Notice temperatures, though, will continue to warm through the week. Unfortunately, by Thursday and Friday, that cold front moving into the forecast, that's going to bring some more rain chances as well, but we'll continue to watch that, Anissa. But by Tuesday and Wednesday, you were mentioning your hair.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot better when that rain moves out. More better hair days ahead for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. New tonight, former senator, actor, and presidential candidate Fred Thompson has died. A family spokesman said Thompson died in Nashville after a recurrence of lymphoma. An attorney by trade, Thompson appeared in more than 20 movies and TV shows, including Law & Order and The Hunt for Red October, before he was elected to the U.S. Senate in 1994. He served until 2003, and in 2008 ran in the Republican presidential primary. Fred Thompson was 73 years old. Republican presidential candidates are in open revolt tonight over debates. They are angry at the questioners, but party organizers too. With so many candidates, there are a lot of opinions. Inside this Washington area hotel tonight, an all-out Republican rebellion. Representatives for nearly every GOP presidential contender gathering for a crucial meeting following last week's widely criticized debate.
In New Jersey, what you're doing is called rude.
The goal now, trying to change the debate process. Not on the invite list, the Republican National Committee. But the candidates staging an open revolt against their own party may just be about the only thing they agree on. Some want fewer debates. Others want shorter debates. Dr. Ben Carson is leading the charge, telling ABC's Martha Raddatz on This Week there should be different criteria for moderators.
As opposed to, gotcha.
Senator Ted Cruz wants to go even further.
If you have never voted in a Republican primary in your life, you don't get to moderate a Republican primary debate.
But from the very candidate who brags about drawing those huge debate ratings?
I don't want the Republicans to look weak, like we're not afraid to take, we're afraid to take questions.
Others just trying to move on before the next one.
I have enough humility to know that I got to get better.
The next debate is set for Tuesday, November 10th. For years, they've given premature babies a fighting chance. This heartfelt reunion at an East Texas hospital, next on East Texas News Weekend. An estimated 15 million babies are born prematurely every year in the United States. And because of birth complications, many children spend their first weeks and even months receiving specialized care. Our Malcolm Hornsby shows us how one hospital celebrated 2 years of being able to provide that care right here in East Texas.
It caused us to lean onto our faith.
For the Dixon family, the journey to giving birth to 3-pound, 5-ounce baby Aiden was a long one.
He had some little bit of heart issues, and some breathing, respiratory issues.
Aiden spent the first month of his life receiving around-the-clock care in the neonatal intensive care unit at Woodland Heights Medical Center in Lufkin.
A lot of care and attention to him. He even stopped breathing twice, and they were able to resuscitate him and get him back.
Now a strong 16 pounds, Aiden and a fraction of the over 200 premature children were reunited Sunday with their doctors.
We meet the families at the worst time of their lives. I always kid that I'm the voice they never want to hear in the middle of the night.
It's all a part of the hospital's second anniversary celebration of providing NICU treatment.
It's so great to see them a year later and the babies, doing well and thriving. The parents look so rested and happy compared to when I meet them the first time.
This year's anniversary comes just as the hospital plans to launch an area transport team, bringing sick babies from all over Deep East Texas to receive specialized treatment.
Oh, it's a huge asset just for everybody. The emotional strain and the inconvenience of having a baby get shipped several hours away.
A stressful experience, no doubt. For the Dixons, the celebration was about honoring their little miracle and the doctors who cared for him.
They really took extremely good care of him.
And see, Aiden was not just our baby. They would say all the time, "Oh, that's my baby, that's my Aiden." They were all great. They were like a big family.
Malcolm Hornsby, East Texas, News Weekend.
The NICU at Woodland Heights currently has 6 beds, but they are in the process of building an additional 9, which would allow more children to receive the specialized treatment there. A Texas NFL team shows major improvement from last Sunday, while another is still trying to figure things out. Sunday showers did not stop some college fans from duking it out for a chance to move forward in the playoffs. This and more next in sports.
It was another wet day for local football fans, but now in the playoffs, the TJC Apaches would not let the rain stop them from playing Navarro College in the Southwest Junior College Football Conference semifinals. It didn't stop fans or the cheerleaders either from coming out to support their Apaches. However, the rain did stop both the Bulldogs and Apaches from posting up their normal high-scoring games. When it came to passing, the short game was a friend, and being able to not slip on the turf was a much-needed skill. In fact, the rain was falling so hard in the first quarter that the only score was a field goal by the Bulldogs. Now, today, the only local winner, it's the rain because it got the best of the Apaches. Bulldogs go on to win this one 29-10. 1 point separated the win against the Dallas Cowboys and Seattle Seahawks tonight. The 13-12 Seahawks victory is just another eyesore on the Cowboys' record. And while Des Bryant did return, the Cowboys are running out of time to figure out how to win without quarterback Tony Romo. Let's take a look at the highlights. Greg Ward bats Russell Wilson's pass into the air and then picks it off. That would lead to the go-ahead field goal for Dallas to make it 12-10 Cowboys. But in the fourth quarter, Stephen Huska drills the 24-yard go-ahead field goal for the Seahawks, making it 13-12. Now, 4th and 21. Matt Castle has a chance to be the hero. He throws for Jason Witten, but the pass, you're going to see it. It falls incomplete. Dallas loses their 5th straight game. They will see and host the Eagles next week. It still wasn't a great game for the Houston Texans, but when you snag a win after last week's performance against Miami, you can't really complain. Brian Hoyer with 235 passing yards and 2 touchdowns in this game. Here's one of them, Hoyer to DeAndre Hopkins, who goes up and gets it for the touchdown. Texans on the 42-yard line for this next touchdown. You're going to see Hoyer on the play action, airs it out to Nate Washington, who makes the catch and comes down hard. Now, he would walk off on his own, score 17-9 Texans at that point. But here's some defense for you. Titans deep in their own territory, and you're going to see J.J. Watt. He's going to make a tackle. Wait for it right here. He's going to cause Zach Mettenberger to fumble and it's recovered by Houston. Watt with a big sack, 2.5 sacks on the day, 17 sacks for the Texans. And Texans take this one 26 final. So good for the Texans, not so good for our Cowboys.
Still a little struggling a little bit there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Castle, you can't really complain about him. I think he's doing better than Whedon.
I mean, well, you know, our standards here are now steadily kind of.
Yeah, it's not what we want, it's what we got, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. Well, they'll keep their fingers crossed.
Yep.
Well, time now to check in with meteorologist Daniel Graves in the Weather Center. Daniel, what do you have for us?
Well, you're talking about struggles over there. Well, we've been struggling to see some sunshine on our weekend across East Texas because of the rainfall continuing to move into the area. Now, the jet stream guiding all of the rain towards the north, the Central Plains staying dry, but this dip in the jet stream is why we've been seeing the rainfall continuing through our weekend. This area of low pressure, though, will start to make its way out of the area, and we'll see a return to that sunshine as we head into the beginning parts of next week. Right now, though, some light to moderate rainfall still continuing across most of the area. The heaviest rain confined towards deep East Texas. Now that will slowly start to let up as we head into Monday morning, but we've seen a lot of that rainfall over the past 2 weeks where we were dealing with a lot of drought, now dealing with a lot of rain, where we hauled just over the weekend over 2 inches of rainfall for Tyler, Longview, and Nacogdoches, over an inch in the Lufkin area, and last week seeing a lot of rainfall as well. So definitely helping out though with those dry conditions we had for over the summer months. But temperatures right now still pretty mild. We're in the low to the mid 60s across the area. It's 64 right now at Tyler and Longview, 63 at Nacogdoches and Lufkin, still a warm 67 degrees in the city of Jasper. Now as we head through the overnight hours, those temperatures not going to do much because of the cloud cover. The rainfall though will slowly start to diminish as we head into your Monday morning. Then just going to have to be dealing with some fog for your morning commute. Temperatures starting in the upper 50s to the lower 60s. Now the cloud cover will slowly start to diminish as we head into the afternoon. Your high temperatures once again will approach the low to the middle 70s, so it'll end up being a nice day, and we'll continue to see those sunny skies continuing as we head throughout Monday and continuing into your Tuesday. Still could see a little morning fog there for Tuesday morning, but the sunshine will return for at least the first half of the week. So your rain chances will continue overnight, along with that chance for some patchy fog, a 50% chance for those showers. Your overnight lows into the mid to the low to the upper 60s is what we'll continue to see. But tomorrow that fog will start to end early. We'll see partly cloudy skies by your afternoon. Your high temperature again in the up to 75 degrees. But then over the next several days, notice full sunshine will continue through Wednesday. We'll start to see an increase in cloud cover on Wednesday, along with those temperatures warming into the mid to the upper 70s. But it's those rain chances that'll start to increase as we head into Thursday and Friday. Up to a 50% chance on Friday is right now what the models are indicating. You know, we're kind of falling into that pattern, Anissa, with the rain coming closer towards the weekend and during high school football. So that's definitely unfortunate, but we'll continue to track those rain chances.
All right. Thank you so much. Yep. A city street became the scene of a Halloween rampage. The action neighbors took to try to stop a killer coming up. And from the soundstage to the pulpit, the former teen star's message of faith to Hollywood ahead of our Power of Prayer report.
You're watching KLTV 7, your East Texas news leader.
3 people were killed when a car plowed into a group of trick-or-treaters in New York last night. Witnesses say the vehicle jumped the curb and went over another car that was parked before smashing into a gate. The 3 victims include a 10-year-old girl. The driver and 3 more people were hospitalized, but their injuries are not life-threatening. Police are now looking into whether the driver had a medical issue leading up to the crash. A Halloween tragedy in Colorado. At least 4 are dead, including the gunman, after a shooting rampage that spanned 10 city blocks. Today, investigators are looking for answers as witnesses describe the chaos. Streets in Colorado Springs covered in crime scene tape instead of Halloween decorations. The aftermath of Saturday's horrific shooting.
It was pretty scary. He looked right at me and I was like, okay. I started walking away and I said, oh, please don't shoot me.
Naomi Bettis now knows how lucky she is because just moments later,
this kid was coming right around the corner on the bike and he lifted up his rifle and shot him.
2 gunshots, they were pretty loud. I heard him right off the bat and ran to the window.
Matthew Absher looked outside and immediately saw a man holding a rifle and a revolver walking down the street. Absher said he didn't think twice before running down to follow him.
I just didn't want him to get away.
As Absher trailed the shooter, he tried to get police on the phone. Minutes later, more gunfire.
Shots fired, possible shooting or burden.
And he was walking, he stopped, saw the lady smoking a cigarette, and just fired, kept walking.
2 women on a porch both died. As the shooter walked on, police showed up to confront him, beginning a gun battle.
The shot fired by Cruiser is shot at.
They yelled, "Put the gun down," and he turned around, and that's when they shot him a good 20 times.
Police are still investigating for a motive and have not released the names of the people involved, but they have boarded up the home of the suspected shooter. The landlord says the gunman started a fire before the shootings. The search for a cargo ship missing for a month may be closer to ending. Last night, the National Transportation Safety Board announced it may have found the wreckage of El Faro. The cargo ship disappeared a month ago in the Atlantic Ocean. Officials have been using sophisticated sonar equipment to scan the ocean floor. Officials say it looks as if the ship is in an upright position and still in one piece. 5 suspected Islamic extremists attacked a hotel in Somalia, killing at least 6 people and injuring 10. The attack started at daybreak when a suicide bomber blew up a car at the hotel's entrance gate. 4 men with assault rifles and grenades then invaded the hotel. The hotel's owner and a former military general were among the victims. The Somali army ended the siege and killed all of the assailants. House Speaker Paul Ryan is telling his fellow Republicans that defunding Planned Parenthood immediately may be too much to ask. Some videos in recent months accused the organization of selling body parts from aborted fetuses for profit. Conservative lawmakers have been pushing for taking federal funding from the group. But Ryan says there is a process that Congress has to follow.
I don't think Planned Parenthood should get a red cent from the taxpayer. I've always believed that. I voted that way before these disgusting videos came out. But I believe we need to do our oversight. We're just beginning to start a committee to investigate Planned Parenthood. That's important. So the special committee on Planned Parenthood, I think, should be in the driver's seat of overseeing this process.
Planned Parenthood says the heavily edited videos are misleading. The group says it donates tissue for scientific research and gets reimbursed for its expenses. That practice is legal, while selling fetal tissue for profit would be against the law. Russia is observing a national day of mourning after a plane crashed in Egypt. 224 people were on board the plane when it broke apart in midair. Most of the passengers were Russians returning from vacation along the Red Sea. An ISIS group claimed responsibility for the crash. However, Russian officials say they are skeptical about the authenticity of that claim. A follow-up tonight. The last person jailed in connection with a deadly shootout among bikers and police outside Waco's Twin Peaks restaurant could be released from jail tomorrow. A Waco jail was processing the release of 38-year-old Marcus Pilkington this weekend on a $50,000 bond. Pilkington was one of the 177 people arrested after the May shooting that left 9 people dead. They were all charged with organized criminal activity, but no one has yet been charged with any of the deaths. The Texas Supreme Court is taking on a much-watched homeschooling case tomorrow. At issue, where do religious liberty and parental rights to educate one's own children stop and obligations to ensure homeschool students actually learn something begin? An El Paso family is accused of failing to teach its 9 homeschool children anything because they were waiting to be raptured. The family says its children were educated and has accused the local school district of being anti-Christian. By some estimates, Texas leads the nation in homeschool students. Check this out. Amazon is giving away free vinyl records. It's a contest to celebrate the relaunch of its vinyl store. The retailer started the offer on October 23rd. Today is day 10, so you have 3 more days to win something. Check Amazon.com to enter for a chance to win that day's prize. A must-win game tonight for the Big Apple. The latest on the World Series slugfest coming up on East Texas News Weekend.
It takes courage to stand up for your faith. It takes courage to stand up and speak about who you are, what you believe, whenever it goes against the status quo.
Kirk Cameron is one of the biggest voices for Christians in Hollywood, but there was a time when he denied God even existed. The moment when he found his faith, next in Power of Prayer.
Storm Tracker 7 Weather is sponsored by At Home Healthcare, bringing healthcare home for over 25 years.
Well, our temperatures haven't really been too cool for the month of October. In fact, a little bit more mild. But as we head into November and into the next week, we're tracking some cooler temperatures in the forecast as we head closer towards next weekend. Notice this is by Thursday at 7 o'clock, tracking another cold front that's going to make its way closer towards East Texas. Now, that's going to bring the rain chances into the forecast. But as that cold front pushes through, a big area of high pressure fills in behind that. Look at the blues sifting down into East Texas. That could bring some highs dropping into the 60s with some lows in the 40s by next weekend. So some cooler air is certainly on the way. We'll keep you updated on that. For now, rainfall continues across East Texas this evening. The heaviest rain, again, just towards the south of the Lufkin area where you see the yellows and oranges there and towards the north of Polk and Tyler counties. We'll continue to see that rainfall overnight, but starting to diminish as we head into your Monday morning. And that's because an area of high pressure will start to build back into the area, and that brings a return to that sunshine. And we'll see that for the first half of the week before we see that cold front move across and bring those rain chances back into the forecast. So overnight tonight, this upper level low will continue to move off towards the north and the east. By Monday morning, some patchy fog certainly possible in the forecast. But as we head into the afternoon, this area of high pressure builds back in, brings a return to that sunshine throughout the day on Monday. And that's going to be your weather pattern for the first half of the week. That area of high pressure will still kind of sit over the area, and that's going to keep our skies clear through about Wednesday. Then we're watching this cold front that's going to make its way into the area as we head closer towards Thursday with this trough of low pressure that's going to continue to dip down into southeast Texas, and that's where you start to see those rain chances form as we head throughout the day on Thursday and continuing into Friday and Saturday. Once that cold front finally pushes through the area, this area of low pressure is going to kind of lag behind that front, and that's what's going to keep the rain chances in the forecast through Saturday. And models right now indicating 1 to 3 inches of rainfall additional possible as we head into next weekend. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that throughout the week. Starting with some morning fog, though, for your morning commute tomorrow morning. Upper 50s to lower 60s will be your temperatures. Sunshine returns by the afternoon. Your high temperatures into the middle 70s. With that sunshine continuing again through about Wednesday, notice the rain chances start to form as we head into Thursday and continuing through about Saturday. Your temperatures will continue to warm, but once that cold front moves through late on Friday, Anissa, notice those temperatures. Some 60s for your Sunday with some sunny skies starting into maybe some 40s into the area. So bringing some cooler weather, going to feel a lot more like fall by next weekend.
Oof. All right. Thank you so much. 80s idol KIRK Cameron rose to fame on the TV hit Growing Pains. Now the actor is using those Hollywood connections to spread the gospel. In tonight's Power of Prayer, our Lane Lucky shares how Cameron found faith after leaving behind an atheist upbringing.
Someone will say, hey, Mike Seaver, how's it going? You know, and remember me because, like you say, I was in the living room for all these years.
These days, actor KIRK Cameron is known as much for his faith as he is for acting roles. Growing up in a home without God, he began his spiritual walk on the set of Growing Pains.
As a recovering atheist, I look back and I see how God used a friend who invited me to church, even though I didn't have any interest in God, to hear the message of the gospel at a time when I was thinking about what life was really all about and what happens after you die and how did we get here in the first place. And my questioning led to some answers that sent me into church to reading the Bible, and I became convinced and persuaded that I wanted to be a follower of Jesus Christ.
Now he's one of the most prominent Christian voices in Hollywood, reaching millions through movies, documentaries, and TV shows with a family-centered message.
My pastor very wisely said to me, KIRK, I want you to remember something. You did not find God. He wasn't lost. You were, and he found you. And I said, you know, that's right. And that's important that I remember that that's the way it works. God finds me. I'm lost, I'm blind, I'm dead in my trespasses and sin. And I need God to open my eyes, open my ears, open my heart, wake me up and bring me to life.
He's taking this inspiration to cities across the country with events that teach couples how to live the gospel.
What really matters is character and faith. And if I can assist people in drawing closer to God and to their family and getting their faith and their marriage and their parenting where it needs to be, then that gives me hope that I can be part of some solutions in the next generation.
No topic is off limits. Cameron says it takes courage when your beliefs may not be politically correct.
You have to have thick skin. You have to be able to combine knowledge and understanding with compassion and a sense of honor and duty. And if you can get all those things wrapped together like Jesus did, then I think you can be a force to bring about a lot of change in the world, and we need that right now.
Amazing.
With salvation at stake, he's hoping others will confront any fear of talking religion.
My worst case scenario is that this person's going to ridicule me. This person is going to tell me to get away. They don't want to talk to me. You know, they might even throw a punch. I don't know. But their worst case scenario is much worse. To die without knowing God and knowing His forgiveness and His mercy and His love. The consequences of that is dire. Therefore, I must let love swallow my fears and go and do what I know I ought to do.
For Cameron, it's a calling to connect with families, sharing his gift of faith, and helping others understand ethics in their lives.
Lifting your head, understanding where your hope comes from, understanding what produces success and victory, and understanding that you and I can't do it in this generation. We've got to invest and pour into the next generation and then empower our children to do it.
Lane Lucky, East Texas News Weekend.
Cameron has 3 Love Worth Fighting for Marriage events this month in the Dallas area. You can find details on his Facebook page. If you have a story about how prayer has impacted your life, we'd love to hear from you. Just go to KLTV.com or KTRE.com. Click on the Only on KLTV or Only on KTRE tab, then click on the Power of Prayer icon. Some East Texans in the pros help rack up some NFL victories. And still going. The latest on the extra innings in tonight's crucial World Series matchup next on East Texas News Weekend.
It was a great day for East Texan Adrian Peterson as he helped out his team, the Minnesota Vikings, do something they hadn't done since 2007. Win a ball game in Chicago. Peterson did not have any touchdowns, but he did help put his team in scoring positions multiple times with 20 carries for 103 yards rushing. And while it came down to offense pulling off a last-minute field goal, Peterson had nothing but praise for the defense that kept allowing himself and the offense to get back on the field.
They did a great job of game planning and putting us in the best position to be able to make plays. And we started off slow. We couldn't keep drives going for whatever reason, but we continued to fight. You know, defense had a great game plan, and we just told those guys, hey, just give us a chance. You know, after we tied it up, give us a chance and we'll win it.
Well, another East Texan that had a good day, despite his resulting in a loss, was Jacksonville native Josh McCown. And if you really want to, you could go ahead and throw Tyler native Johnny Manziel in there too, because he got to play in the game a little. But the big winner was McCown. Here in the first, he has a touchdown to Brian Hartland with a 10-yard touchdown pass there. That ties it at 7. Number 2 for McCown goes to Gary Barnage with a 3-yard touchdown pass, making it 14-7 Browns. And number 3, right here, McCown's going to beat the blitz and find Hartland once more on the 2-yard touchdown pass. But Cardinals take this one in the end, 34-20. Now, we've got a little update for you. Game 5 of the World Series is still going on. The Mets were up 2-0 going into the 9th, and the Royals came back to tie it 2-2. They are now in the bottom of the 11th. The last time, right before I came out here, Mets were up to bat. There were 2 outs. Now, I will say if the Royals end up winning tonight, the World Series is over. If the Mets win, we're going to see a Game 6. So exciting stuff there for baseball fans. But let's go move on to our catch of the week. This is Zane Stroman, a 5th grader at Ore City, who caught this 8-pound bass at Lake Pines. So very nice for him.
That's very nice.
They catch better fish than I do.
Well,
Good for
they
them.
might have more practice.
They do. You know? Because I'm not very skilled.
I think it's like, it's kids' luck. Like you see all these fun little videos of these kids reeling in these huge fish.
Bigger than them?
Yeah. I think it's
Gotta love it.
You know, a little luck.
Love it. What do you have for us at the end?
We might get to do some more fishing if you don't like the wet weather while you fish. Don't know if that helps it or not, but we'll see some sunshine return as we head towards the beginning parts of the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at your wake-up weather forecast. Now, some fog to start your day with mostly cloudy skies, but when we head towards the afternoon, we'll see a return to some sunshine finally in the forecast after we didn't really see it over the weekend. Your high temperatures once again into the low to the middle 70s. So kind of where we should be for this time of year, and we're going to stay dry over the next several days with temperatures climbing back into the upper 70s. But notice getting a little cooler as that rain moves in because of a cold front making its way into the area Thursday and Friday. So 40 to 50% rain chances there. But then look at next weekend. Upper 40s returning in the forecast for some areas with your temperatures, high temperatures into the low 60s. Maybe some sunshine on Sunday. Keeping our fingers crossed because the past 2 weekends have been quite a rain out. No.
I'm not liking that Friday forecast, Daniel.
I know,
It's
for
not
football.
good for us.
We'll keep you updated on it.
All right, thanks so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, Good Morning East Texas begins right here at 4:30 a.m. Have a great night.
Let the news follow you. From exclusive web content to text and email alerts, get your news wherever you are. From news and weather to high school football or even great cooking recipes, download our family of apps today.
It's always fascinating and makes for good politics when two elected officials see the same situation completely differently. Now, there's a difference of opinion in play right now, and it has to do with public safety right here in Texas. Perhaps you've heard of the term sanctuary cities. Well, this is a label attached to some larger cities across the U.S. where local law enforcement officials do not prosecute illegal immigrants based on the fact that they have broken a federal immigration law. They release the offenders back into the population. Well, ultimately, this prevents municipal or other local funds from being used to enforce federal immigration laws. The disagreement that's currently making news is that the sheriff of Dallas County, Lupe Valdez, has gone on the record saying that she will not automatically hold illegal immigrant prisoners and turn them over to federal authorities, which has been requested. She will consider it on a case-by-case basis, regardless, again, that federal law enforcement is asking the local authorities to hold these offenders for a time. Governor Greg Abbott has entered the discussion by warning Sheriff Valdez to follow the law, ultimately keeping Dallas from becoming a sanctuary city. Now, there are obviously some politics at play, but Sheriff Valdez needs to uphold the law, local or federal, and honor the request to hold these prisoners until they are dealt with at the federal level. We have enough challenges in our society, and we do not need law enforcement bickering between agencies.
Julia Janae on KLTV 7 News.